about the maintenance. When the fuel valve is due for maintenance, it is when the fuel valve is due for maintenance, it is taken out from the main engine and it is disassembled and all the parts are cleaned either in kerosene or diesel oil and again reassembled, and the parts are to be checked, and if there is any fault found, then those parts have to be replaced, or if there is any tool for grinding, lapping of the parts, then those parts must be lapped and the parts again reassembled, and again before it can be used for the main engine, it has to be pressure tested. So pressure testing is one more maintenance work, and as we can see here that the fuel pipe which is coming from the top, it is firmly secured with a nut here, this nut, because otherwise during the pressure testing the fuel valve is subjected to very high pressure, that is 300 bar, and if it is not properly fitted, then fuel might be spread out from this portion and accidents may happen, because at such a high pressure, if our body is subjected to such high pressure fuel sprays, then there might be accidents. So one main point is to be seen is that this has to be firmly secured, and the fuel valve is to be put in the stand and it has to be tested. So what are during the testing procedure, what are the tests to be done? One is during the fuel valve testing, test is to be done for the leak test, whether the valve is able to hold the pressure, and recirculation test, and the main test is the test for the proper spraying of the fuel. How the leak test is to be done? The setting of the fuel for the air cylinder which presses the main pump of the testing equipment, setting has to be made such that the fuel that can be given to the fuel valve is at about 50 bars less than the injection pressure. And if this is injecting at say 280 or 300 bar, so we'll give the fuel to the fuel valve at 250 bar. and in that condition we have to see that at no points the fuel is leaking. That is for the leak test. And for testing whether the fuel valve is able to hold or not, the same test can be made. It has to be pressed up to this pressure, and to be seen that the fuel valve is holding that pressure. That means the pressure is not reducing up to say about 1 or 2 minutes. The pressure is remaining constant at that pressure. It is not reducing. So that is how the fuel valve is tested for whether it can hold that pressure for that time or not. Otherwise, if it is not holding the pressure, then somewhere it is leaking. So during the injection also it will leak and the proper injection will not take place. That is why the testing for holding the pressure is also included. And one more is the test for recirculation. So how it is done? We know that for the recirculation, the fuel is given to the fuel valve at very low pressures. So now we will set the pressure setting of the testing machine to a very low pressure, that is equal to about the circulating pump's pressure. Say about, if the circulating pump is giving fuel at about 8 bar, so we will set it at say 8 bar or even little less than that, say 7 bars, and we will give the fuel, and we have to see that the fuel is coming out through this recirculation. We have to see that the fuel is coming out through this recirculation hole. So this is for the recirculation test. Or even if the arrangement for setting the pressure of the valve, say in other type of testing machines which are tested using the manual testing equipments, then how the recirculation can be confirmed? It is to be seen that when the pressure is coming down at very low pressure, when the pressure is just before going to zero, coming to zero, just before coming to zero, the fuel must come out through this port. That means the fuel is recirculating. So that is one more test. Here is the recirculation test. And one more test is the main test is for the spray pattern. To find out the spray pattern, at the bottom one plate like this is attached in a semicircular fashion, and holes are also drilled onto that. So when we press the fuel valve for the spray. The spray from the holes, it should come out and pass through these holes of these plates. So that time this spray pattern is said to be correct. If the spray pattern is hitting, so if the spray is hitting somewhere else in the plate, that means the nozzle is either not placed properly in angular position, or the holes are not okay. That means the nozzle has to be changed. That is why during the maintenance time these holes are to be cleaned and the diameter has to be checked, and a pin is given by the manufacturer, which if it goes into the holes of this nozzle, that means the hole has become of that diameter as the specimen pin. So then that nozzle is no more usable. That means the hole has reached the limit. So that is one test to be done by the needle.